Very nice, thank you.
Yeah, that's hard to do in steel string.
Gee, that's a nice sound. If you are just joining us, our guest on Live from Studio One is Robbie Basho. And, well, let's see, does anybody in the audience have a request? No, I'm just kidding.
Every time you think you've rehearsed everything to the T, then they ask you a question like that. I'll have to pull that one out. That means the blue and the white and blue, the white and golden Virgin from blue sky is a kiss from God for his lovers in the valley. Something really, really pretty like that.
What, is that something you wrote?
It's flamenco, yes, Spanish. It's called the California Suite. I've never recorded it. But that's what it means.
That's very nice. You told me before we went on air that you've written a symphony and are working toward completion of a concerto for orchestra and piano, I believe.
Yeah, well, one symphony is called House of Light. It's kind of a spiritual work in 4 movements with English, Arabic, kind of Oriental and Western. I wanted to try for a nice blend that way using I felt a lot of love with the Oriental culture, to get away from the fanaticism that's going on, to show people what could be done with it musically and feelingly wise. And I started doing this thing, and I didn't know how to write music, and I had to go through 7 years of the worst kind of ego busting and jousting to get it down. And the thing is that the whole symphony just fell upon me, and I took it down the best I could, and it took me that long to put it down right.
Mm-hmm. Is this for a large orchestra?
Full chorus, full orchestra. 4 French horns, cellos, full...
The whole routine. You're not relying just on your 12 strings now.
No guitar in it at all, no. I did my symphonies. Well, I think the trouble with some musicians like Fahey had, we were doing mini symphonies on 12. And something inside says, but I want more. I want a bigger and fuller expression. Mm-hmm. And the child inside says, no, I just want to ride my horse and play my music. What do you mean, sit down and learn and write? That's ridiculous. But I had to. I was kind of forced.
Who will perform the work, or has it already been performed?
No. One is on its way to the NEA, the National Endowment Fund, and we hope they'll help us out. Because there's so many steps. You have to have the whole thing copied. I paid a girl $400 to have it copied right in good script. Then you have each part has to be copied for the instruments. God, it's like rewriting a 100-page symphony over about 30 times, differently each time. And you have to pay somebody to do that. Then you have to hustle it. Hello, would you like to play my symphony? No, we don't want any today. It's a game you play. But that's the first one that came out, and that might not be available to everybody, though it is a worldwide type of thing. And then the concerto, the common man should like the Concerto La Santa Cruz, which is starts the 15th century, the Spanish Christ force to the Americas, that kind of feeling. And then going on from there, exploring America from 15th century on.
Mm-hmm. And the solo instrument is the piano on that?
I wrote it on piano, and there are a few solo places for piano, but the orchestra carries it mainly. The piano doesn't have to do a lot. And I saw this, a lot of the music they write for movies. John Barry does that a lot. He'll call it a concerto, and piano will play it, but you don't try to see...
It isn't really a showpiece for
No, it's not supposed to be. It's more or less a tone poem.
I see.
And, trying to do all the difficult things on piano, that's been done already. That's already been done. But to use it as a means for saying tone poems and so forth. I don't know, I think make the occasion fit the form, not the form fit the occasion or something like that.
That's got to be just an absolute thrill to hear a large work that you've composed for all those instruments and actually hear it performed.
Yeah, well, we don't know if that's going to happen, but it's really like a duty. Writing a symphony, when you're into it, it's like having 10 kids tugging at your skirts all the time. Yeah. You can't sleep and you can't eat until this particular section's done. You let the slightest thing go, anything wrong, and you feel it. It's something tugging at you. And I mean, you go to sleep and you wake up hearing the right version, not the wrong version. It's incredibly... I know why they call pieces of music works. It really
gives new meaning
work.
to that.
It's no real fun about it. The initial hit, wow, you get really up, and isn't that quite something? But afterwards, it's just hard. It's like picking.
It's just a drag like anything else, isn't it,
yeah,
Robbie?
It's
hard
like
work.
digging ditches. It really is.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's true. Why don't you go ahead and do something else? I don't know if you'd like. You mentioned your fondness for Oriental philosophy and culture. I don't know if you'd like to switch over to that vein of things, or
saving up for the end.
well, that's okay too, and you can go back. Why don't you choose? It's your choice.
Yeah. Oh yes, tasters. Let's talk a little bit whilst I tune my 12-string into a nice, lovely idea.
All right. Okay. There it goes now, folks. There it goes.
See if I can talk.
Talk and tune at the same time. I'm hearing that's a challenge for sure. I mention again, if you're just joining us, Robbie Basho is our guest. Oh, I know an area I wanted to talk about. We can get into this in a little more detail, but I know in our record library we have, my guess is, I didn't count them, but I would guess 10 to 15 of your albums. You've done a lot of recording over the years, and recently you've been recording for a label out in California called Windham Hill. William Ackerman, the man who is the producer, the man behind it. A real purist sort of label, real purist approach. You have, 2 albums out on that label?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you still recording for Windham Hill, or is that, are you satisfied with everything?
No, the reason he's going towards a very clean, he's using a very pure nature feeling in California with European classical dynamics is what he's doing, and and the world's hungry for it. There's been so much garbage in pop and even folk, and especially in jazz, that people are really hungry for a mellow sound that elevates them in a natural sense, but they don't have to listen too hard to. That it takes them, puts them in a nice place, a frame of mind. And Windham Hill is quite the answer for a lot of people. George Winston on piano, and people like, he's light but very, very, very tasty, in some places very sublime. And Will does a very nice job of nature. I call him a folk moodist. He's very good at it. And
but it sounds like with some of the stuff you're doing, that's a fairly narrow definition as far as what could be recorded.
Oh, no, it isn't. You'd have to get that to find out, because what I'm doing, the first couple of songs are my warm-up, fun, folky songs, and the one I'm tuning for now is a kind of a classical one. But I used the Hindu system of ragas and scale and feeling into a lot of things. I used it into painting pictures of the West, and I used it in what I call my classical music. I call it near classical.
Near classical, I like it.
I wanted to do something nice called Cathedrals Fleur de Lis, Cathedrals and Fleur de Lis. And what it does is paints a picture of a 12th century French cathedral, and there comes a rainstorm, and you're supposed to hear the organ inside the church during the rainstorm, and little doves from the window, flying from the windows afterwards.
And that's what's coming up right now?
That's what's going to come up right now, we hope.
Why don't you go ahead?
Cathedrals Fleur de Lis.